Republican Adam Kinzinger is one of the 10 Republicans to vote in support of the article of impeachment.
Yeah, the congressman has been kind enough to join us this morning from Washington. And Congressman, as I say good morning to you, given the current temperature out there right now, what's been the response to your yay vote?
I mean, look, people are upset. People in my district are upset by the vote. But look, here, the reality, this is one of those unique votes. The 750,000 people I represent, none of them have sworn an oath to the Constitution as the role of a congressman. That is uniquely mine. And that transcends anything in politics. And I think the president broke his oath. I think, if what happened wasn't impeachable, nothing is. And I'm at peace with my vote, even though I know there will be political consequences.
Well, I checked your Facebook page last night and this morning, and, you said in your post that it was a vote that you did not take lightly, but one that you took confidently. And looking at the more than 2,500 comments on your page, you're taking a real beating from your constituents. A lot of them are calling you a traitor. They're calling you a rhino. They're wondering where your outrage was when their businesses were being destroyed over the summer. And to that you say what?
No, I think it's a great question. And by the way, I always love when people call me a traitor. And, I've been to war multiple times, et cetera. But I actually think that's kind of funny. But look, summer was bad. I called out the summer, right? I was activated with the National Guard because of the summer. But you know what didn't happen this summer was not an attack on an institution of democracy. That is the difference, not the violence. The violence is worse in the summer. But an attack on the institution of democracy, the underpinnings of which prevent violence from spiraling out of control, is unforgivable. It really is. And I guarantee you in history this will be the right vote. I feel at peace today about it, and I well recognize the consequences of this. But I think people have been misled by this president for a long time about a stolen election, which doesn't exist, and then about the need to fight to defend an election that, frankly, was not stolen.
I watched most of the debate yesterday, Congressman, and one of the more consistent arguments from your colleagues on the right was that, yes, the president was wrong. Yes, he incited people to riot. But he's already leaving office. Why do we need to do this? To that argument, you say what?
Look, I think it's a good argument. I didn't think the Democrats should have brought up impeachment, but once they did, I had to pivot to the merits. What I say is this: if that is not impeachable, then what is? We have to take a stand on something like that, or it will be repeated. And I think the president has to own the consequences of what this was. And the Constitution has impeachment there for a reason, even when it's a tough political decision, even when it may be the end of your career. You got to do it. I feel peace. And by the way, there are about 100 other Republicans that would have voted with me if they didn't worry about the political consequences.
Well, big tech not only shutting down the president's voice, but they also did so to a lot of the conservative voices on Twitter, on Facebook. And a lot of people feel that big tech has more power now than government, and that their free speech is being censored. And that sounds a lot like the work of a publisher. So why didn't you take that up? Why didn't you address that in December like the president wanted, and you allowed it to stay in that Department of Defense bill?
Because here's the thing, this adds to how the president has misled people since the election. That's called Section 230. It has nothing to do with the Department of Defense. It actually is through Energy and Commerce, which is the committee I serve on. I've been calling for a year to have discussions about Section 230, about the internet and where we are going forward. It literally, somebody whispered in his ear that he could probably veto the defense bill over something that doesn't belong in there and has nothing to do with it. And he said it. And that's the thing is, people don't know the truth. So, look, even if you deleted Section 230, all that does is gives the internet the ability to censor comments, because that takes away their liability protection for what people say that leads to violence.
Congressman, we're almost out of time, but quickly, it sounded to me in listening to you this morning like there was a very vague, opaque reference to the possibility that your career as a congressman may be coming to an end. Will you run again?
Well, I intend to run again, but I recognize that this vote of conscience that I feel complete and total peace for, that I prayed about for a long time, may have ramifications, and I'm at peace if I don't run again, if the Republican Party doesn't want me. But I'm going to tell you, I think every day that goes by and we find out more about what's happened since the election and some of the dishonesty and deceit from the president, I think that political calculation will change. But I have no doubts that I did what I thought was correct.
Well, we are a blue state. Are you going to run for governor, maybe? I've asked you before.
Come on, Congressman. Break something for us, will you?
Sorry, man. No, I mean, look, I never rule anything out but a Republican, and blue state Illinois is not an easy climb.
As Bruce Rauner found out. All right. Thank you very much, Congressman, for joining us this morning. We know that you are you're doing what you feel is right. People may not agree with you. You have a tough job, and you're willing to live with your decision. We can respect that.
Thank you. God bless, guys.
Thank you,
You
Congressman. Too. Nice try, Anita.